Welcome back, dweebs, to another episode of the Weekly Dweeb. With me is my good friend Kev. Kev, on our new format here, pre-recording these. How you doing tonight, bud?
Oh, having a great time. Looking forward to catching up on the Marvel side of things.
A lot of
We've
news.
spent the last at least week, but definitely more, focused on the DC universe with Superman. Go check that review out. But talking about what might have been tonight, James, as well as what will be, or at least what is expected to
what
be.
is incoming, I suppose. As Kev has alluded to, we are talking Marvel. We are specifically talking Kang and Doctor Doom. In a recent roundtable interview attended by the Hollywood Reporter, Kevin Feige said they had started to pivot away from Kang before what had happened to the actor happened. He never says his name. Obviously, you know who he's referencing. Without referencing him, he said the actor's departure had not been the sole catalyst for the series' creative changes. Instead, conversations to bring back Iron Man star Robert Downey Jr.'s Dr. Doom begun before the public release of Ant-Man and the Wasp, which obviously made no money and bombed, and Kang was no good and is essentially done there. Here's his exact quote, Kev. We had started even before what had happened to the actor happened. We had started to realize that Kang wasn't big enough, wasn't Thanos, and that there was only one character could be that because he was that in the comics for decades and decades. Because of the Fox acquisition, we finally had it, and it was Dr. Doom. And then he says, in fact, I had started talking to Robert Downey Jr. about this audacious idea before Ant-Man 3 even came out. Oh, boy. So, Kevin Feige is saying that they were going to pivot away from Kang even before Jonathan Major's legal troubles propped up.
James, I don't know where to start here. Do I start?
I know where to start.
Okay, go for it.
Bullshit. There's the start. And the timing of this should put that right after 3 minutes. It's complete and utter bullshit.
That's a good place to start then, because I guess both of my avenues could begin with a bullshit, because I am wondering, A, is any of that true? And B, I beg to differ that my boy Kang was not big enough.
Yeah, Kev, what do you got there? Thanos. What are those? I've never seen, what are those? Fucking full-on books?
Yeah. You see this little thick?
Oh, that's just like a page or two, right?
Yeah. This is one of my favorite stories right here. Just in general, only myself left to conquer. Talking about time travel paradox and Kang essentially, maybe creating himself. I don't want to spoil the whole thing. It's kind of hard not to. It's a well self-contained sort of story, but dude, Kang, you're talking about the guy who went back in time and became Rama Tut and created a bunch of advanced technology, ancient Egypt. The guy who has a whole council of himself, an infinite number. He was able to, even as established in what was still the MCU. I don't know now if it's part of the Marvel television or if it's still the MCU. Who knows what the hell they're doing, but a character that was the man at the end of time. Obviously, power level to be well above.
Fantastic introduction, by the way.
Yeah. And well above Thanos in the power scale. And as you mentioned, that segues nicely into part 2. I'm kind of calling bullshit on it that they had other plans, because, as James mentioned, one of the best character introductions Marvel's ever done. And that was essentially just a monologue. And he did all of that, knocked it out of the park. Despite Ant-Man being a dumb movie and a concept that I do agree, significantly weakened Kang by having him he's supposed to be your big bad at the end, and there's a version of him that gets defeated by like the 7th best Avenger. Yeah, that's a bad idea. I just they had multiple movies named with Kang's name involved.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't remember exactly when those changes were made, but I'm fairly certain it was not before the release of
No, it was not.
Ant-Man.
No, it was not.
I don't, James, to play devil's advocate, I will say maybe they had this thought, and is that why they defeated Kang in that movie? It still would be
No.
horrible execution. What do you think?
It's horrible execution, right? They didn't defeat Kang in that movie because they had some master plan. They have a ton of, they had the council of them, right? They introduced him. You took an awesome introduction. Yeah, the council was introduced. You took an awesome introduction at the end of Loki season 1, followed it up with the Quantumania movie. Now, it's right in between. I think in between there's when all the allegations came out, right? That's when all his legal trouble started. What did you fucking expect, Kev? Did they ever bring Thanos into a movie and have him get beat up by the Wasp or Ant-Man or anybody? Like, what did you expect? You didn't set him up to be this big bad. Like, you treated him like a third-rate villain, and he gets one of his versions gets beat in Ant-Man and the Wasp, which the Ant-Man movies have historically done low numbers anyway, right? What were you fucking thinking? What did you expect was going to happen? You're like, oh, he's going to be our next big bad, so let's put him in the Ant-Man movie. It had nothing to do with him not being big enough, Kev. You have a tome there. You have a book there's like 500 pages. Kang is one of the most powerful MCU villains there is.
Yeah, as far as the comics go, one of the could be, at least has the potential to be, one of the largest villains that they could create. And Doctor Doom wasn't going anywhere. And in fact, what they seem to want to do with Battle World and everything would have been a very fitting, like phase 7, so to speak, right? You have Kang
Absolutely.
and all these multiverses and all these different Kangs and these universes converging on each other and destroying themselves. And at the end of it, you defeat Kang, but not in time to save everybody. Guess what?
And then Dr. Doom
comes in and collects the fragments, and boom, you're in Battle World now. And that could have been phenomenal. I should say would have been, because
they've
Disney
been terrible.
Can't stop dropping the ball unless it's for Andor. They just don't do anything good.
There's very little post Endgame that has been good on the MCU side. And you mentioned Star Wars, the same over there too, right? It's not because they acquired Fox and suddenly had Doctor Doom. They left Kang on the back burner. They got rid of him for 2 reasons. One, the Ant-Man movie bombed, made shit money, scared the hell out of him. 2, his legal troubles. I think 1 led to 2, right? The bombing didn't create 2. He had his own problems. My bad wordage there. But if that movie makes $1 bazillion, makes 200 million, 100 million, 150 million in opening weekend, cruises to 500, I don't think Jonathan Major gets kicked out.
Ezra Miller didn't get kicked out of the Flash. They cast him twice.
Yeah.
Maybe apples to oranges.
They can take the high road and say,
crimes.
We got they can make all these bullshit ass excuses up, right? And they can look good because they got rid of him because of his legal troubles. The reason they got rid of him is because the Ant-Man movie bombed. Completely bombed, and they were like, fuck this. Now we're dealing with a villain with a character that's not making us enough money to deal with all the legal side effects, the legal ramifications of this, the backlash we're getting. We need to cut bait.
They still haven't learned to recast. It's like people reacted so poorly to Terrence Howard getting recast by Don Cheadle that they just refused to touch it ever since Iron Man.
But there is proof that they just were done. They're like they didn't recast him because they were like, well, he's fucked. Like we blew Kang. They wrecked Kang completely.
Yes.
Unequivocally, they wrecked Kang, wrecked him for the MCU because of their own stupidity of letting him get beat by a bunch of ants. He literally and figuratively, he got beat by ants.
Yeah, not even Ant-Man, literal ants that
And
were
it was too
stuck
late
in
after
the
like in
quantum zone.
season. He's decent in season 2 of Loki, if I remember right. Like he's not. It's not great, but it's all fucked
He
after
doesn't
that.
instill fear. He's a
Yeah,
timid, smart guy that kind of runs around and
yeah. That
is
they're
a
trying to
bit of a
kill, right?
wiener
They're
the
trying to
whole time.
preemptively kill. Not a
I
great,
yeah, I can't
right?
remember, to be
Something
honest.
like that.
I did not like. Well, I shouldn't say I didn't like season 2. I did, but not enough of
Not
it
season
hung
one.
around.
It's not season 1.
But when he's running around as what, Victor Timely or whatever,
Yeah,
they're
Victor Timely is the name. Yeah.
again, stuff for nerds like me that were already big Kang fans. It was stuff that I enjoyed, but I don't know that it was the best uh, way to approach building up your big villain. What so much of what made Thanos, who has his moments in comics, don't get me wrong, but in the comics, Thanos is this weirdo loser who is obsessed with Mistress Death because she's
Yes.
like attractive. And so he's killing half of the universe to get some chick who has no interest in him to like him a little bit. Like he's one of the most pathetic villains in all of Marvel Comics. He's a complete loser, but the MCU set him up in a way that it was ominous. It was ready to go. And by the time he
Yep.
hit, oh shit, dude, the
It
big
was
guy is
real.
here. And it was a less is more situation. It was that old alien metaphor
Mm-hmm.
again. 4 minutes of goddamn screen time. And look, we're still getting movies and TV shows from that. 4 minutes of screen time for the villain.
His.
Less is more. They showed us way too much Kang and too many of the different personalities that needed to be doled out over time. So I would say,
Mm-hmm.
yes, Ant-Man, definitely the nail in the coffin, but I don't think that season 2 of Loki did a lot to help either.
They didn't do
It did a
any.
lot to help the character of Loki and Ouroboros, but it didn't do
Yes.
anything to build up Kang.
Agree. I would agree. You got one really good scene of Kang. It's really it after that. Like you get the really awesome before the at the end of time scene. Like, and think about this when when I said Thanos, when he finally shows up in a movie, right? Or his first full movie, he comes in and the first thing he does is kill Loki in the first 10 minutes. His entrance,
And beat up the Hulk like he's
yeah,
my size.
beat the Hulk up and killed Loki. It's like, motherfucker, this dude is for real. And like, what's Kang? Like Kang's first entrance in a movie is he gets beat up by a bunch of ants.
Hank Pym's wife let me out of here, I think.
Yeah,
He didn't even
it's
get out
pathetic.
on his own.
They did him a disservice, and it's really unfortunate because there's so many cool variants and timelines we could have saw. You mentioned Ramatut. Isn't the Scarlet Centurion one too?
Yep.
There's one in the future. Like there were so many possibilities for movies that they would have still been a part of the MCU, but they would have been separated, right? Like this one's in the past, this one's in the future, this one is somewhere, right? Like it's just there were so many cool ideas that are just all fucked now.
That they're probably still going to lean into a little bit, like they had the TVA. They're clearly doing the Fantastic Four in an alternate timeline. So chances are they're going to keep some of that stuff. And then I guess just try to over time sweep Kang's role in it under the rug, even though none of this should exist without him, I think, right? Like
Mm-hmm.
there was one of him in every universe and they just got rid of one. There's still a whole council that they showed us,
Yeah,
which, as
they
you
just
corrected me, it was after they defeated. So it was almost as if they're like, oh, well, because there's a million Kangs, we can introduce you to a lesser one, but then and have him defeated. But throughout the movie, they're like, oh, well, he's the renegade. He got sent down here into the microverse because he's the
it's so
one
stupid.
Kang that could beat up all the other Kangs, but
But he got
he's
killed by the ants.
yeah, but his kryptonite is ants. Just if ants, if they're smart, also spiders. Not a big fan of spiders. I don't know. It's just like
So
what
stupid.
what are you doing? And now
What'd you expect?
to turn around and stick it to a character that did nothing to you, that is
He didn't
not
do
even
anything.
a real person. All right. All it is an asset that you are kind of crumpling up and lighting on fire and pissing on.
Because you
For
botched
what?
it.
Because you screwed it up. Yeah. It's crazy.
And then to badmouth, like to say he's not as big as Doctor Doom, and just like, why not just admit what it is? Hey, it bombed. He had legal trouble. We pivoted. Why can't you just say that?
Ooh. Shareholders, I guess. I don't know.
Saying that you had this plan, like you didn't. That's a fucking lie. Like you didn't. You were never like Robert Downey Jr. was done. This is literally just a Hail Mary to try to save it. And I don't know if it's a good one or not because you've got Iron Man playing fucking Doctor Doom.
And this is the type of lying and narrative protection you can expect from people who clearly have no idea or have at least lost the skill of storytelling. Because
Yeah.
let's just think of it another way, James. If it is the way that we say it is, which is a reaction to the fans not loving what Phase 5 was and a pivot into something new, isn't that more impressive if it works? Like after the fact, like let's say Bob Downey knocks this out of the park and everybody's having a great time. What if Phase 6 is the new hotness, dude, second prime, all this good stuff? Isn't it better to be like, yeah, look at what we were able to do. Look at where we were and how we were able to do that. To me, that's exponentially more impressive than lying and saying, well, this was always the plan, but we just decided to continue to sink money into an Ant-Man film that was bleeding and building towards nothing. That was the move, was let's just still spend a ton of money on marketing. Let's do all the CGI. This, as far as CGI budgets go, shit, like how much of that movie was in front of a bunch of green screen? So it was just like, why did you do all of that if you already knew you're moving away from it? Doesn't track with me. Because
you didn't need to, like, because you could have just went straight to season 2.
Yeah. You had no need to have Kang be an Ant-Man villain. It didn't even make a lot of sense. If he felt shoehorned in, right? Like he's the guy at the end of time. Why is
suddenly he in the microverse?
Exactly. Why is he trapped in the microverse with
because she stole his battery from his car or something like that.
Yeah, it's just so dumb. Like, oh, well, he's down here too. Like, you could have done anything, could have done whatever you wanted. Could have been anybody down there. Didn't have to even really need to be down there. Y'all didn't have to spend your whole movie down there. It could have done a lot of different things with that, man. This seemed so I don't know which one is worse. I don't know why this is the path that they've chosen, because to me, now I just have more questions. Like, why did you make that stupid movie then? And is this why you made Cross just a giant idiot head looking thing? Like, is this why you killed MODOK too? Like, let's just torch multiple villains, because we're creating so many good new ones now in our
we don't need them.
Universe. We have so many. We have endless characters to choose from. It's bad enough they introduce people like the God Butcher and kill them off in the same movie. Like they take these characters that multiple characters they've used have had the same Thanos potential. We've just listed 2 of them. Gore and Kang both could have been
done this a lot.
Movie villains, and instead it's just flavor of the month. Origin, also you're gone. And if I haven't seen the movie yet, but there's a chance that we're going to get the same thing from damn Galactus, dude. Can you imagine that?
It's not looking good.
Galactus is going to be a flavor of the month movie, one-time movie villain. So don't tell me, Mr. Feige, Mr. So-called Kevin, who I haven't seen at a council meeting, by the way. All right.
He's not one of the council members.
Hey, that's why he's so anti-Kang, because he got ousted from the Council of Kevs. It could be what's going on here. But Mr. Feige, don't tell me that Kang is not a worthy villain, I would argue that you just don't have a worthy creative staff.
Yeah.
If you weren't able to do something with a character,
with
that character, and you're already doing multiverse stuff, and you can't.
you
Okay,
just stay
sure.
in the quantum verse.
That's a skill issue, sir. That's a you problem.
Yep. Disappointing. Very, very disappointing.